I'm going to tell you the reason why you have to record every interaction with government. Every interaction. You see where I'm at? The town of Longview, North Carolina. I came over here last week to file a complaint on my civil rights being abused by the Longview Police Department. Just wasn't ready, really disheveled. Anytime you deal with cops, it's just nerve-wracking, especially after they've beat your ass. So I want to make sure I got all my ducks in a row, got all my information here. I've already been to the courthouse, already filed subpoenas, and never had a problem out of the front desk here. It's usually just the tyrants here. That's the problem. So I come to turn it into the Secretary of City Hall. Under North Carolina Records Act, they must accept it. I said, yes, ma'am, I just need a signed copy, a stamped copy of all three of these. It's public records requests. She disappears for about 2 minutes, comes back. She said, you'll have to come back after lunch because the clerk's not here. I said, oh, you can't just sign it and date it? It's not my job. Under the North Carolina Records Act, that's a refusal. That's a refusal of service. This is what I mean. You can't let government scum do what you just can't do it. They always raise hell. Well, why are you videoing? You try to start trouble, and then when you go in there politely, because I'm always polite, unless it's a terror pig trying to steal my money or take my freedom. I'm always polite, always. And then the first time, and the second time, and the third time, you don't record interactions with your government. That's the crap they pull, and then they'll deny it. Then they'll say, well, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't rude to him at all. I just said it wasn't my job. So she thinks her only job up there is to collect money for her water bill is what she thinks her job is. All she had to do was take it, stamp it, received, and give me a copy back. That's it. And then turn it in. But not her job. So now I'm going to cut out the middleman. I'm going to go straight to the attorney. Because see, they're not allowed to put speed bumps in front of you. They're not allowed to make it more difficult on you. See, they're going to make it as hard as they can on me because they don't want me here. Boy, wouldn't it piss them off if I told them I'd just stick around for a while? Because I'm not giving this up. I'm not going to give it up, and I'm going to go harder now. I'm going to go harder. They steal my tools that I use every day. I was working yesterday, didn't even have a pocket knife on me. I had to burn rope yesterday to cut it because the stupid prick cop that stole my pocket knives. He stole a pocket knife with a blade that long and stole my belt knife that I have for like big bags of like deer feed and stuff like that, corn. Big bags, you use a big knife on it, you put it in the bottom of them and cut it up a 50-pound bag. That's what you use. Steals my tools and took my 22 mag, which I use for what? What do I use my 22 mag for? It's a tool, right? What do I use that tool for? For dispatching animals. Yeah, you know when you trap an animal, you stick 22 to the top of their head and you go click. That's what we're supposed to be doing with animals. Every animal in our ecosystem that acts wrong and does things wrong, that needs to happen. That's what you do to a rabid animal. They need bullets in the top of their heads. That's what you do to rabid animals. Not even rabid animals. Animals you want to eat. Animals you trap. Animals that fall for traps. This is the world we're in America. A legally, lawfully owned pocket knife. They try to get you for a crime on. Oh, it's a crime to have a pocket knife. Listen, I understand if some of you guys are like from, I don't know, Yankeeville, New York, California, where men don't use pocket knives. I'm in the South. The first tool my daddy and my grandpa ever gave me was a pocket knife. When I was bullied in school in the 9th grade, guess who gave me a pocket knife? My dad did. He said, go to school. He said, if they bully you, stick them. That's what my dad said. Because he got tired of me being picked on every freaking day by bullies. So my dad gave me a knife and I went to school. That's what happened. This is what happens, and this is the number one reason America's in the shape it's in today. And women, you can hate me all you want because I don't care. Because men are supposed to make the decisions for a house, for a city, and for a country. Because men think rationally. When we think about war, we think about the consequences of war. There are deaths on the other end. We don't think, oh, the poor little people that need us to go kill people for them. It's the nanny state. Well, people just shouldn't be given the option of wearing a seatbelt because them not wearing a seatbelt can really hurt them. And we want to make sure that people don't hurt themselves. This is the consequences of not living society by the way God commands. We've got women in city councils all over America, just like the woman mayor running my town. First order of business, who took out of office, she's a Democrat. Well, we got these parks now in town, in city government buildings. We've had a flood of illegal immigration. Floods. There are millions of Venezuelans, and it's bad. The crime's going through the freaking roof. The first thing she does is, well, you're just not allowed to carry your lawfully owned firearm to a public park. Because women like to go walk around parks at night by themselves to get exercise. But we don't want you to enjoy the public park because we want to make sure the gangbangers who never follow the law are free to do what they want to do. City councils. I'll tell you one right now. Alderton Reno 911. This guy owns a record company, and they came down on him because he went through the process, got a lien on a car that he towed. The lien was because he couldn't get his money out. The people wouldn't pay him for the tow, so he had to get a lien to sell the vehicle to cover the lien for the tow. Well, he does all the paperwork, he does it right, he follows the law, he does everything he's supposed to do. And then they come back and say, well, we're going to take the car away from the guy that bought it from you, and you're going to have to pay him back, and we're going to give it back to the initial owners. Then you got to figure out how to get your money from the initial owners of the car that you towed lawfully. We know you did everything right, but we're going to go in and change it. So what's that make him? Because this is what these idiots, especially cops in government, they never ask themselves this question. Why did this person become an activist? What happened to these people for them to decide one day, I'm just done. I'm going to start holding my government accountable. They cannot be trusted. They just think people like me were born. I was just born hating cops. That's how stupid they are. They really think that, well, we don't do anything wrong. We're public service. We don't really help people. We take their money and put them in a cage because they mess up. They disobey an ordinance or something, but it's not that big deal. It's just outrageous. It's outrageous. My window's all fogged up now. Oh, I'm so freaking angry. I don't even know how that happened. So, it's just, that's what I mean. That old hateful bag over there, not my job. Well, what's your job? So you're standing there right now and you're doing nothing. Your job is to what? Do you know how to use the copier? You know how to use it, right? Well, I guess you need to just put it in there, stamp it, say, well, a woman's not here, done some bad time, but 17 and 17, not my job. Okay, not your job. Not your job. That's called a denial for doing my records request. That's a denial for her doing that. But you see, here's the problem. When you break an ordinance or you break a law, they'll have your ass in court and they'll get your money within 3 to 6 months, maybe a year max on felonies, right? The turnaround is instant when the state wants to take your money. But when it's time for you to get recompense, when it's time to get what's owed to you for what they've done to you, 5, 6, 10 years down the road for you to get any justice, my greatest fear right now is that Donald Trump, they're going to steal this election. But I will take no pleasure when this whole thing crumbles and these Kamala Harris voters are sitting there with their thumbs in their ass screaming for help. What are we going to do? Russia's bombing us and China's doing all this. What could have stopped it? Why would they do that to us? Kamala, why doesn't she stop it? There's a reason why we're voting for Donald Trump. There's a reason why we've been telling you, you can't have a moron that's been on her knees blowing every man above her to get where she is. The Bible described her when she was inaugurated. She was wearing she was wearing the purple turtleneck with the pearls, and the Bible says the whore of Babylon, adorned in jewels and pearls. It even described her purple shirt. The Bible described exactly Kamala Harris the day she took office as vice president. Nope, that's just too specific. It can't be really. You must have made that up. No, it's real. It's real. So I'm going to have to record myself again. This is the office I went in a couple years ago to drop off a lawsuit. I'm going to do it again, except this time I'm going to go full bore. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do the whole freaking suit. Violation of rights under the federal law, harassment, a pattern and practice of harassing me, violating my First Amendment rights, violating my Fourth Amendment rights, violating all my rights. So I've got to record this, unfortunately, because I hate doing it, because people do think you're being rude when you do it. But I don't care. I'm tired of people being rude to me. Nobody knows what public service is. Good morning. Do you guys, the lawyers, still do public information for Longview?
I
think that they do.
I think one of our attorneys does something.
Yes. Yeah, they do. Anyway, can you turn this in to them? Can you date it and stamp it and give me a copy, please? I tried to turn it in at Longview City Hall and the woman gave me lip, which is unfortunate.
I wonder if it's Tim. I don't know.
I think it's the
Tim Swanson, maybe.
It's the one that's got three different people in the office. I went to school with one of them. Let me see. I think it was. I don't know which one. It was like three on it listed. But I know they do the public records for Longview, City of Longview. But yeah, that one was very snotty with me for some reason.
Let's see.
Public servants don't understand the term.
I think it's Jimmy Summerlin.
Okay. That may be right.
Yeah. Give me just
Thank you so much. Sorry for the confusion.
No worries.
Mm-hmm. Tax dollars. This is a problem too in government now, is they'll hire these attorneys that know real estate law, but they don't really know ordinance law, they don't know legalities, they don't know civil rights laws, and they're passing a lot of ordinances and that's what I was telling you about Audley and Reno 911. He became an activist, and this is what cops don't understand is, what did they just woke up and said they hate cops. They just hate cops. They must watch Rodney King get beat up on TV, and they just don't like us.
What are you here for?
She's helping me.
Okay, good.
Thank you so
Wanna be
much.
Sure, yeah.
See, that doesn't happen in business.
I hear that.
Better when it's over.
I hear you.
See that? That doesn't happen at city government. People don't ask you if you need help at city government. They stand there. We won't. I got to do another public information request because I need to get the jail footage. I forgot about that last week. Where I give a shout out to Jeff Gray, Honor Your Oath. And everybody share this video to honor your oath. Share it to Lackluster because, yeah. I'm going to try to share it to George Metz with Rogue Nation. Last couple times I texted him, he hasn't responded back. I guess because I'm too hard on some of his people that are in his little network. Look at that. They've got the Declaration of Independence, but that isn't at Longview.
And I found out, I told you last week, I went through the Longview Police Department review page, and they took down my Google review. That's unlawful. A woman 6 months ago won $25,000 because they took away her First Amendment right to post on a government website, on a Facebook page. They're stupid. Well, it hurt my feelings, and you can't hurt me. Just like these city governments making ordinances at city council meetings. You can't say somebody's name. You can't say something bad to somebody. You can't do that. I guess they're giving me a run around now. I'll pause this.
Here you go.
Thank you
just
so
dated it
much.
and wrote on there,
Thank
and
you
I'll
so
get
much.
this
Have a
done.
good day.
Thanks, you too.
See how polite that was? You see how polite that was? When you go to deal with government, you never get that. Ever. When Tina and I was at court last week for my court date, the very next day after being kidnapped and arrested, this little Mexican chick was working the counter, and she was so snotty and rude. Let me move my thing here. She was so snotty, and when I came back, I went to a different chick. I wasn't going to deal with her hateful ass. But government's always like that. Why? Because government never gets fired. They can do whatever they want, be as rude as they want, and nobody's going to stop them. They won't get fired. And it's just like I was watching and you guys should watch it. You could see what a lot of people like Jim Jordan, the congressman from Ohio. A lot of people like him. He's like Trey Gowdy. He gets up there and he has all the talking points and all the sound bites, but he's done nothing. He's done nothing. He's held not one person responsible. Not one person has went to jail for their crimes. They haven't even subpoenaed Joe Biden yet. What do they wait for? For him to be out of the election cycle? Yeah. I mean, it's just, they all waste their time. They don't care. But he was on Patrick Bet-David's podcast the other day. Oh, I got to get on this other one. He was on Patrick Bet-David's podcast. I'll get in this lane. And Patrick Bet-David showed the video clip from George Bush Sr.'s funeral. The Q-tards went crazy over this one, where it showed all the people: Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, George Bush Jr., Jeb Bush, George Bush's wife. Showed all these top diplomats, including Dick Cheney, get the white envelope. When they opened it, Jeb Bush opened it up, and he was just shocked. He turned white as a sheet, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what is this? What is this? What is this?" Donald Trump didn't get one. So all the Q-tards were like, "Yep, that was a letter saying that Donald Trump's got the proof to take them all down." So what was strange about it is PBD showed that to Jim Jordan. And instantly, Jim Jordan got the same look on his face that Jeb Bush, Hillary Clinton, and Michelle Obama got. It was just like, I really don't know what I don't know what that thing could be. It's a fix. These people know that, I'm going to say this with a qualifier. These people know that every communication they got is watched. It can all be subpoenaed and looked at. They bust these people for trying to hide the crime, not the crime itself, which is wrong too. But it doesn't matter,
Because when you're Hillary Clinton, you can erase 33,000 emails. And I even went back and found a lot of them showing that she lied about everything. Showed it. And no consequences. Donald Trump did not lock her up. And I understand his reasoning. He said, that's a bad thing to do, lock up the wife of a president. He said, it's just not something we should be doing in America. It sets a bad tone. I get it. But if you're saying you can't get arrested because you got a D beside your name, because that's America. If you got a D beside your name, you will not be arrested. But that shows right then and there that free to do whatever you want. Want to break the law, break the law. Just like these government officials. It'll be my word against hers, and I'll be the raving lunatic that went up to Longview and I was rude to her. Did you just see me right there? I was polite, just like I was back then. I was polite. I walked straight in. I said, yes, ma'am. I just need a signed and dated copy saying you received it, please. Thank you so much. Disappears for a couple minutes. Comes back. That's not my job. What? What do you mean not your job? That's a refusal. I get sued for that. But there you get. You're in court for months and months and months, and all that time, what they're going to give you, they're going to say, well, what were you out? Oh, you had to drive 5 minutes down the road and turn it in directly at the source? Well, you didn't lose much, did you? No, turn on red. When did they put that light up? That sucks. See, that could have took $500 out of my pocket right there for safely turning on red. Nanny state. I'm sorry, ladies. You can hate me all you want, but this is what happens when women vote. Then we have to become, instead of a law, because we have a standard in America, and the standard is law. That's the standard. If you kill somebody, there's a punishment for that. But the problem is when women got into government, we started running on feelings. Well, I feel that you're not smart enough to put on a seatbelt to keep yourself safe. So I'm going to make a law that if you don't put your seatbelt on to keep you safe, that we're going to take money away from you until you learn that lesson. What? So let me see. The option is, if I crash, I may get hurt and injured because I'm not wearing my seatbelt. And if I don't wear it, the punishment is. So if I don't care if I'm going to get hurt more in an accident without a seatbelt on, then you're going to steal money from me? You get my point here? It's stupid. I have been hurt more in accidents because of the seatbelt than the actual accident. And the reason why I'm not wearing my seatbelt? Because that cop screwed my... I told you guys a week previous to me getting arrested, for me getting slammed. I said, God has healed my shoulder. I said, it's still not as strong, but the catch is gone and it doesn't hurt anymore. Not no more. Not no more. Why would they get through? You can't. But see, that's what happens when you've got women in these city council. Well, you can't be mean. That's Sandra. Sandra's one of my good friends, and I don't know, she's not good at her job, but you can't tell her that. All over America in city council meetings, they're telling people, you're not allowed to mention someone's name. Oh, you can't use a bad word in here. You can't do this. You can't do that. And all over, people are cashing in. Was it last year, 2 men were put in jail because they told the government what they thought. And I can't remember, I think it was either boys and girls dressing rooms. It was something, but it was a major event. And the guys were polite, they just told their opinion. Cops drug them out, arrested them, and they just won like $250,000 apiece. Why are cops doing it? Because it's the machine. The machine has to feed itself. And of course, when the machine's feeding itself and you eat someone that you're not supposed to eat, the cop doesn't pay for it. The machine doesn't pay for it. The people pay for the wrongdoings of the machine. There is never accountability when the people have to suffer all cost. You got a kid and that kid's bad and you don't whoop that kid's ass, that kid's going to continue being bad because his bad behavior is the reward. You tell him not to get a cookie, he goes, eats the cookie. Look at me, I ate the cookie. And you don't punish him, guess what? He just realized, doesn't matter. I got the cookie. They didn't do anything to me, so I'm going to get another cookie when I want it. This is government. This is cops in America. And again, these people, Donald Trump, he's a fascist, blah, 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 blah. They want cops to have unlimited immunity. Cops already have it. They already have it. People don't understand both sides of that. He's saying it because he does want the police to use. I mean, the cops are going to back Donald Trump anyway because he's for law and order. I'm for law and order. I just think we got too much law and not enough order because we have too many laws. And we got too many corrupt cops on duty that will obey every order. If you people haven't seen, and I did this for Mason a couple years ago, I showed him pictures of the Holocaust. I showed him pictures of the shoes and the gold teeth. I showed him pictures of the skeletons stacked 30 feet high. I showed him the ovens. I showed him part of the Nuremberg trials where they said I was just following orders. That doesn't work since 1947. Doesn't work anymore. You can't get by with that. But all over America, that's what cops say. I was just following orders. Just following orders. Just following orders. I'm so triggered. My PTSD is. My sleep's been screwed up. My nerves have been shot since I got slammed, and my whole family's pretty much wrecked from this whole deal. Wrecked. I mean, Tina was pulled over twice for no reason. Twice. I was pulled over 4 or 5 different times, and 4 times in my own dang driveway. Just like when that one cop pulled me over and I cussed him out. I showed you guys that body camera. It didn't show much. Didn't show much at all. It's just the dash cam just showed me getting out and giving him the middle finger. But then there's the other one where I really cussed the cop out because he gives me a seatbelt ticket. Where he didn't even see if I was wearing my seatbelt or not because the sun was blazing in his eyes. But that was payback for his other buddy. So it's payback after payback. So it's just when you have PTSD and you've had a traumatic event like I have recently, it takes many months to get back to normal. So it's just like having a burn. That burn is always sensitive. Some days it feels better than others. It takes a while for that skin to grow back over and cover it back up. So it's still very tender. So I'm still in a constant state of trigger. And I don't say that to sound like a snowflake because I am not a snowflake, but I'm in a constant state of trigger because I haven't been able to get back to zero. It's just like, what's a good analogy? What's a good analogy? When you weigh something, you don't want to get, like, say you're doing measurements and you have to weigh something for paint. Well, you don't want to count the weight of the cup that you're pouring it into. You just want to count the paint. So what you do, you put the cup in there by itself, and then you zero it out, and then you add the paint. See, if you count the weight of the cup that's holding the paint, it sets your paint off, and you'll never get the right color paint. That's the same with being triggered. Until you can get back to zero, you're in a constant state of trigger. So then you're easier to trigger because you're already halfway there. I still got my complaint forms. I ain't even filed out I still ain't filled out my complaints because I'm going to sit down with my lawyer and discuss it. I just want to get out of this place. Man, I should have just kept going and I should have went to my t-shirt guy. I should have went to my t-shirt guy and got these t-shirts done. I'm gonna make t-shirts. Please, if you guys leave a comment, will you buy my t-shirts, please? Please just buy a t-shirt. They're probably like $20 a piece. I don't know. I got to check on the shipping. I'll probably put them in those FedEx envelope paper bag things. But I'm gonna get some good cotton shirts. It's gonna be a good t-shirt. It's gonna be one about cops and then one to be about being targeted. But I got to get it done. I can't spend too much because I don't have any money. I'm broke, but I'm going to get at least 12. I think 12 is the minimum I have to make, and that'll be like $150. But please tell me that you'll pay for them because I need help paying for this legal fees, okay? So I love you. God bless. Like, share, and subscribe. please pray. Please pray. Please pray for my family. Pray for me. This shouldn't happen in America. When you got a lawful tag on your vehicle, you're legal, you're legit, the sticker's good, the insurance is up, everything's legal on my truck. My truck is not illegal. But you can still be drug out and beat up and put in jail for being legal. Having a pocket knife that I'm legally allowed to own. Having my antique black powder pistol that I'm lawfully allowed to own. Being charged with that. It's too much. It's too much where a law-abiding citizen still gets wrapped up in the system. It's too much. God bless.